Hello, webcam's back up and running. Well, good evening. It's been a long time coming because I didn't think I was going to get this webcam back going. That Windows update turned off my mic on my webcam. That's okay, JD. Thank you for coming by. Uh, I haven't been on here for a while because I did that Windows update and it turned my mic off on my webcam and I didn't know it. And I spent 2 whole days trying to get it to go. And hello, Tim's World, hairballs. Glad to see you. So, if anybody has Windows 10 and they do an update, it it messes with your applications. Been a little warm out there today. I took out a bush and put up a fence in its place. Uh, Pam's going to put all her purties in front of it. Well, they're claiming that we're going to get some rain, Tim's World, uh, but I haven't seen it yet. I hate for it to rain on people's parade, but man, we need the rain. We don't need a flood. We just need a nice, soaking, steady rain. Well, send some down here, guys. I was glad that I could get some work done today because I spent yesterday on the phone with tech support trying to figure out what had happened to my webcam. Well, I hope everybody's fine with that flooding. He just got soaked. Well, I appreciate it, JD. I really do. Uh, we've been doing okay, but now we're starting to get kind of dry. Uh, can you hear me all right, or am I too loud? He felt like he was in a hot tub. Was it hot? All right, sounds fine. Good. That tech worked on it all day yesterday, and he come on this morning. He said, "Let me try something." He went to the privacy, went right to that mic, turned it on. It was good to go. Well, was you playing in the rain, JD? Hello, Rocket. Rocket 338. Welcome. Good evening. Doing pretty good. I'm kind of tuckered out. Been working outside all day. Oh, you was out walking. Beep beep. Hello, John. John, I'm so glad to see you. Uh, Rocket 338's got 235 buses. Stay with it. We need a lot of support. I figured that pretty well everybody that's in here knows each other, but hey, just put it out there. If you can show a little channel love, that's great. I always say, if you can help a brother out, put a bus out there. Turn a key, take her downtown. Yeah, and I'm bus to you too, Rocket. I appreciate you coming in. Cool, he says. Uh, Pam made some. We had some leftover chicken, and she made some noodles to go with it. Oh my heavens, they were good, and made me a little bit of mashed potatoes. Boy, that was some good eating this afternoon. I didn't eat lunch because I'd been fighting that fence, putting that up. I'm gonna try to make a little bit of a video. I couldn't make a video while I was doing it. It just don't work out for me while I'm working because things go wrong, you know. Yeah, I got my mowing done, and it's been so dry. I don't think I'm gonna have to mow this week. I mowed last Saturday. Well, Rocket, I'm glad that you come by. I haven't been on for Oh, I don't know, a couple of days because I've been having trouble with my webcam. I did the Windows update and it turned my mic off, and I didn't know it, and I didn't know how to turn it on. I didn't know it was off. Hello, Marty. Good evening to you. Come right on in. Boy, that's a beautiful picture you got there. Awesome. Isn't that something? I'll tell you what, the other day, I went out there and I choked that weed eater and I primed it and pulled on it and pulled on it, pulled on it, and just kept working with it, and I thought, why didn't it start? Well, but then I kind of flooded it, and then I seen that I hadn't turned it on. That made a whole heck of a lot of difference. Okay, you've got a tab open for me or a tab open for you, John John? If you have it open for me, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, good deal. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I learned a lesson on that. So then I discovered to turn the switch on. I had to get it unflooded. I guess if that's the right word. You pull on it, and it go. Blah, blah, blah. Well, hello, Corvette. How are you? Good evening to you. I'm two sub. I'm two subs behind you. I don't know. Okay. So Corvette, you got 1,103. That's pretty good. Cool. I like your videos. I don't know how many subs I got. I'm afraid to look at it. I'll get it messed up. Hello, Magic. Wow. All right. I didn't know I went to 1099 Corvette. Thank you for informing me. Last time I looked, I thought it was like 74, 1074. See, I haven't been on here all day because I've been working out, doing putting up a fence. I got a picture of the bush, and I did a little bit of a video, or took a video after I cut everything but the stump, and I cut that stump off with Sawzall. Man, that was hard work. Yeah, that's a nice surprise there, Corvette. Thank you very much. But we had this bush, and it was overgrown, and it's like an evergreen. And the canopy of the bush gets so thick that it all dies inside. So we took it out, and instead of planting something, I just put a fence up because we want privacy right in front of our swing, so that if you want to go out there and you can set, you won't be uh, the neighbors won't be seeing you and what have you. If I want to see across the street, I'll move to where I can see across the street. Uh, the fence is a little higher than it should be, but when the bush was there, you couldn't see through the bush, so it's based about the same thing. Hello, Andy. Yep, been a while, Andy. Thank you for coming by. Good evening to you. Let me check out your channel here. I I can't remember. Yeah, I remember you. 902 buses. Awesome. How to display subscribers count on your live stream. Well, I am going to bookmark that because that would be interesting to know. So, Andy, I got your video. I'm going to look at it later. It might be tomorrow, but I'll look at it and shoot you a comment. I might even learn something. Uh, we don't we don't advertise bus for bus, but if you do bus somebody, they'll show you some channel love back. Uh, it takes people to help each other, and you know, I don't know. I'm gonna look at it. I'm not ever too old to learn, Andy. You took time to put up the video, and it looked kind of interesting. I'll check it out. There's been a lot of people helped in my live stream. I highly recommend each other. Uh, People look at each other's channel. And until Corvette told me I was that high, I didn't even know I was that high. I have subbed to a lot of people, and I think, well, if they don't sub back, that's fine. At least I help them, pay it forward. You know, I help them. Hopefully, they'll help me back. If they don't, you know, they may have not liked my content, and that's fine. Not a problem. But I do not unsub. When I sub, it's for life. I stay right there. Sometimes you have to unsub, just turn the bell on though. You go to turn the bell on, it won't turn on. So you have to unsub, sub back, turn the bell on, then you're good. So then that guy, he'll get a notification. So and so sub to you. Okay, JD, thank you very much. Tell your son I said hi. Hello, Tammy Caldwell. Thank you very much for coming by. You are welcome. Tammy's got 60 buses. There's a link for Tammy Caldwell. If you'd be so kind, check out her channel. If you haven't showed her any love before, show her some channel love. Maybe we can get her headed toward 100. Won't cost you nothing. The buses is all free here tonight. And they're gassed up, got the key in it, doors open. Take her downtown. Yeah. Well, we're up to 7 viewers. I appreciate every one of you for being here tonight. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be nothing. That's right. One way or the other. Yeah. We're a big family. So, is there anybody else here that has Windows 10? I would just like to pass on something that happened to me. And I'm sure everybody's different. But I have Windows 10, and they called it an anniversary update. And of course, Pam don't have a webcam on hers. And we both did the updates within 6 days apart. And it took quite a while. It was a big update and several restarts to get it done. Then when I got it, my webcam wouldn't work. And I searched, and I typed in there, what do you do with your webcam if mic don't work? And said something about drivers, and I come across driver support. Okay. I thought it could have been a scam. but I had seen it before, but I never did buy into it. So I scanned it, and it said I had 4 of them out of date. Uh, so it was $10. It will be $10 per month, and he worked on it all day yesterday for $10. I mean, it was something. So Andy, did anything happen to yours? Your Windows update? Is all your apps running? Do you have any? Like your printer? The only thing it affected was it shut the microphone off. Uh, you go to settings, you go to privacy, and there's something about microphone. Just click on that, turn it on. But I didn't know it was there. I told that tech, I said, it's got to be some little something simple. He said, what is it? I said, well, I don't know. If I knew, I'd fix it. You know, if I knew, I'd help you out, but I don't know. And he uninstalled and he installed. Oh my gosh. Well, that's good, Andy. So maybe you don't have a webcam, but he come on there this morning and he said, give me access to your computer again. I said, you got a plan? Yep. He said, I've been checking it out, and some other YouTubers are having the same trouble. And he just zip, 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 and there it was. Luckily, I could follow him where he was at. See, they don't tell you what they do. They just, you got to be very close watching, and they just fly, you know. But I caught it, and then I went back and looked at it, and sure enough, that's where it was at. But if you ever do need some kind of technical support, if it pertains to anything that they do, driver support has been good. I checked my credit card again, $9.99, I think it is, and I may go ahead and keep it another month because, oh my gosh, he worked hard at that, and it just wears me out because you got to sit here and watch them, or I think you do. Keep tabs on what they're doing if they change something or if they get into some of your files. They usually don't, but it only take one time. But you go into run and you type his code, and he gives you a code back. You type them numbers and boom, he's got it. Then you just sit back and watch, and he'll take your mouse. And if you've never done that, I mean, but you got to be careful because there is some scammers out there. And this is one of the first ones that I've had that it's only charged that amount. Usually they want $100 or $200, and they got you because they have messed up your computer enough, and they run a scan or something, and uh, I had one tech, I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And boom, boom, boom. He started taking everything back off, I said, what are you doing? He said, well, you don't want it. So he said, I'm going to put it back the way it was. Okay. I don't remember what I did on that time. I might have bought into it, but I jewed him down some. Don't ever take the first price. Always ask for a better deal. Uh, did we anybody look at Tammy Cogwell's link there? Check her out. Try to help her a little bit. See, that's it. Best Buy. Yeah. Well, it depends on the problem, but there's something. I think this was driver support, and then when they called me back, it. Let me see what the caller ID said. Some kind of advanced tech or something like that. But see, I this happened on the weekend, and I run their scan. Let's see, then on I had to wait until Monday morning to call them because there was only open between Monday and Friday. Okay. So they said, we're busy. If you want to leave a callback number, okay. So I give them my cell phone number. I had to go to the doctor. As soon as I walked up there to the window to sign in, the phone rang. And I told that lady, I said, I'm sorry, I got to take this phone call. And she hurried up and gave me that paper she got to fill out. So I went and sat down and talked to him. And I said, well, I did your scan. It didn't help. He said, well, call us and we'll help you, because I had went back to an earlier date. And he said, next time you have that trouble, call us. You got that support and we will help you fix it. And they did. They did help. Took them one whole day and about 15 minutes this morning after he figured out what to do. Hello, John. John, back again, neighbor. He said, I thank you much. So, John, how are you doing with your watch time? Are you getting the 4,000 hours in the last 365 days? I think the last time I talked to you, you only had like 2,000 or something like that. Yeah, I am too, because he did it this morning, less than 500 hours away from the halfway mark. Oh my, you got a long ways to go then. So you got 1,500 hours. Yeah, I am too, Andy. Like I said, about 8 o'clock, he called me, and then I had worked out in the yard pretty much all day, and then I had to take a nap. I was wore out. 1,500 hours. Why is that not coming up? Well, you do know, John, that you can run. Uh, I don't know if it's true. You can watch each one of your videos 3 times a day, and it counts. You can watch your own 3 times a day. You've been doing it. Well, it does it seem like it's counting for you? It don't count? Awesome. That's terrible. Oh yeah, it's delayed for like 2 days, but eventually, is it coming up all the time? These live streams help a lot on the watch hours. They don't pay nothing, but they do help. Yeah, if you can get traffic coming through the door, it it brings up the watch hours a lot. But it takes it takes a couple of days before you can see anything on that one channel. And Grizz told me a trick just on your live stream. Now you have to be over 10 minutes, but I don't do it on the videos. But add spots on your live streams. Just put a whole bunch of them, about 10, 15 minutes apart, all the way across there. Because, and then if anybody runs uh, your playlist, then every one of them ads plays if they put them on there. You don't get every slot, but that starts creating me some money. Not much. I'm finally up to $86 on my AdSense account. Oh my heavens. Was that the guy that hit the train? Is that the one you're talking about? I seen that on news. Okay. So you may have more. Well, see, I've got like 7,000 hours. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. But I got all this time. I made all this time in January. So I want to stay ahead of the game, keep working at it as time goes so that when January comes around, I'll lose like 3,000 hours. See, because I made all that time, and I'll lose that in the past 365 days that you've got to be 4,000 hours. I don't want to drop below 4,000 hours. See, so once you once you get your count, you need about 11 hours a day just to maintain. So you want over that amount. Well, if you do your playlist, see, and you run a whole playlist and it counts for you, that's 24 hours. So you're in good shape without making another video or doing a live stream. But you don't want to rely on that. You want to do your live streams so that people know you, and you know, people help me and I help people. You know, it's it's a win-win situation. You know, you help other people that help you. And that threshold that we had to go through has been a big subject throughout the. Let's see. Well, the deadline was February the 20th, and we didn't know about it until right after January. So, I mean, we had to really start scratching our head to try to figure out how to get to going. And I don't remember how many hours I had at the time. Maybe I only had under 1,000 hours, and I only had like 600 or 700 buses. Had a 30-day notice. That's right. In January. That's right, John. I didn't know the exact date, but I think it was February 20th, the cutoff day. And people that has made it now, they still haven't got their monetization because they say it's going to be the end of June. I don't know if that's when they're going to start or when they're going to finish up. Uh, John probably knows a lot more about it. He's pretty slick on this computer and this YouTube thing. Uh, John, if you know anything what I'm talking about, jump right in there. Oh, end of June. All right. I just hope they don't throw another threshold. Okay, so they'll finish up the end of June. Well, I hope that our dog 63 gets his. He uh, he had made his threshold for the 10,000 views. That's all the threshold was, and he was supposed to get monetized around Thanksgiving. Okay. Well, I had just got mine. Okay. And he got the notification. Okay, you made it. We will get back with you. And then they changed the threshold, so they didn't monetize it. And but he's got all these watch hours and everything now, way up there. Well, John, I have run your playlist. um, I'm gonna have to put her up again. But see, I just don't know if it's counting. It's supposed to, but I don't know. I don't think you get all the hours. And then Andy was saying that they messed up, that your minutes may be more than what you're seeing too. Okay, well I'll set yours up to run. Yeah. Well, I was having trouble with my webcam. Every time it had to restart everything, I'd lose all my playlists that's running. Sometimes when they'd restart, they'd boot back up, and a lot of times they wouldn't. And when that tech was working on it, he'd have to restart, and then he'd mess with it, and then he'd restart. Oh, it was terrible. Just wore me out. It's about like doing and I've never done one. I have done 8 hours though, live stream. Uh, but anyhow, after 8 hours of live streaming or something, it's tough sitting here. I try to shoot for 2 or 3 hours, and then if you get enough people coming in and out, it's saying that I've got 3 right now, and I appreciate every one of you. But if you can get, I just lost one. Sorry. Come back, come back. But anyhow, if you get, you know, 10 or so people in here for 2 hours, I mean, you get way up there in the watch time. You get over, um, well, you get way up over 20 hours or so. And that works pretty good towards your average 11 hours per day. And then, of course, if people do watch your videos or run your playlist, like John said, he's running mine, and I am going to return that favor, John. Uh, if I go about trying to set it up now, I'll mess up. I'll click the wrong thing. Well, guys, let me give you an update on my mole that I had removed right here. My mustache is growing back in together, and they got it before it turned to being cancer. He said it could. He said we got it in time. He said these things here could turn to cancer real easy. And I've had that mole since I was born, but it started breaking out below it, turning red, and it wouldn't pop. And I went to the doctor. I said, check this out. He looked at it and turned white. I mean, he said, we got to get that cut off right now. And it it was pretty serious to him because he ran and grabbed his phone. He punched her in and made an appointment. Yeah, make an appointment to see the surgeon. Okay. And it only actual time of cutting it off was only like 10 minutes. And then 2 weeks later, they took the stitches out and looked good. Um, I got the stitches out the 8th. So it's been over a week. And then 2 weeks before that, I had it cut off. And before I went in, I took my clippers and I cut all the whiskers back so they didn't have to prep it. And they said, you did a pretty good job doing that. I said, well, I just cut cut the whiskers back so you could get to it easier. I figured they'd have to shave it off or whatever. They didn't act too concerned about it having all that hair because they don't want to get that hair down in that wound. And I didn't either. So he did a real good job. So John, do you have Windows 10? Now we got 3 people. Whoever come in, good evening to you. Lunch with John. All right, hot dogs. Cool. Hot dogs on the grill. Well, that's a nice looking place down there in Florida. Oh, looks like going to storm. Hello, fat boy. Food Forest. How are you? Good evening. I'm doing great. My neck, my back. That's too cool. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm tickled to death. I spent a couple of days removing a bush that was overgrown. I've took a couple pictures. I'm going to try and make a video. I couldn't really video while I was working it because things just don't work out for me when I'm working. I have to live the moment. Oh, fat boy, you don't have to. But anyhow, I dug that down below ground what I could and cut away the little roots coming out so I could get my sawzall below. So I'm cutting horizontal with that bush. And I bought me a 12-inch blade, give $7 for that blade, but it was worth every penny of it. And it's a battery operated sawzall. So them batteries, they're expensive and they'll run until they just go completely dead. They won't power down. You know, they're full throttle. until they go dead, and then boom, that's it. So the deal of it is, once they run down, you run down. It was an evergreen tree, food forest, and what happens with them? They're beautiful, and they get so big, and the canopy of the bush shades it so densely, that the inside dies. And it was just done because I had bought this thing in like a little quart can, you know, and it was only like that tall when I planted it. And that thing's got branches coming out every which way, and they're about that big around coming out. So I sold everything but the trunk, and then I went to work on the stump. Yeah, it could have been cedar. Now it's not redwood. I know it's not redwood, but yeah, you can definitely smell it's a cedar. But I took it all out there, and the city picked it up. All I had to do was get it to the street. Then they come by today, and I seen them coming. Of course, I know this one guy. He used to go to our church, and I put my gloves on, went out there. I said, "Here, I'll help you load it." I'd tickle to death to get rid of it. I wouldn't have had to. I could just stood there and watched them, but I I threw 2 or 3 limbs in there. But other than the stump, I had it all cut up so that you could pick it up by hand, throw it in their dump truck. So after finally got that out and leveled the ground out, then we bought a piece of vinyl fence that matches the back, and I put it in front of the swing so that you can go out there and sit down the swing, and the neighbors and the street, they can't see you, because the preacher lives right across the street, or whoever will ever live there. Hi, hi, hi. Go do something. I get sick of it. Yeah, it doesn't grow underneath. There's no weeds under it. Absolutely right. Them needles. And of course, then I had to rake all that up, and it was pretty thick under there from the years of it falling down. But I got it all raked up and put in a dumpster. Um, it'll probably rain tomorrow, but maybe I can jump between showers. I'm gonna go out and take a video of the the after, and the wife, she wanted this white bicycle she seen uptown just for a decoration. So yeah, you can use it like around exactly. We when I worked at the lumberyard, we used to sell pine needles too, and it does work. But it's gone. But anyhow, she got this white bicycle. Her friends bought it for her birthday. So that's the whole purpose. We had to find some place to put that, and we're going to put that in front of that fence and put flowers and stuff around it. when we get done, it'll look nice, and then we'll mulch. And I think she's going to put newspapers down, and then we'll put the mulch on the newspaper, and the newspaper will take care of the ground pretty good. But there shouldn't be any weeds right there because, like I said, they're pretty much dead. But preem works real good too. Put your preem down and then mulch it and soak it in, and it goes in. It keeps the soil from germinating seeds, weed seed. But it'll eventually, you got to redo it about every year. I'm going to. I'm going to do a video, but I've already cut the stump out. I didn't video any work because I have to work at my own pace. I'll work a little bit and then go sit down. Now work a little bit and then go sit down. My feet, I just can't. I can't stay on my feet very long. It's all I can do, stand up and walk. My hip doesn't really bother me that bad, but my feet. And then it starts affecting my back. So I go sit down for a few minutes. I can get up and go again. Not as long as it was when I was coming out of the gate, but I get to the point I can't even hardly walk over to sit down. And a long time ago, I was working. I haven't worked for 4 years. I was going down the street and I seen a one of these chairs you put in a tub or shower, and I grabbed that dude. And that works the best. I can just carry that and put that anywhere I'm at. And when I get tired, I just sit down. I don't have to go find a place to sit down. I carry it with me. And then when I get down on my knees, man, I have to have something to get up. So I'll take that stool and set it right by me. And then I can push down and get up. Hello, Grizz. Well, I try to do what I can do. That's why I'm not working. I was wondering if you was going to make it. I wanted to make a video of how I leveled the fence because I could dig the hole and she bought a bicycle, Grizz. Oh, she didn't like your comment that you said that a homesteader, that the woman needed to be barefooted, pregnant, and in the kitchen. She was sitting here. She said, I wish I could reach over there and slap him. Oh, that was funny. No, I'm not going to ride it, but I had to take down a tree or a bush and put up a piece of fence. I'll make a video of it and show you about that bicycle and that thing. But I uh, I rigged me up a poor boy's transit, a water level. I take a ice cream bucket, and of course it's free. You know, you eat the ice cream, you got the bucket, and you take a piece of vinyl hose and you drill a hole just a little smaller at the top and run that hose in there and make a loop where it'll stay down. Then you fill it up with water and put food coloring in it. I just had green, and then you siphon it out just enough to fill up the holes. And then you set your bucket. And once you set your bucket, don't move it, don't lose any water because it'll change your reading. And you can go make you a mark any place you want, and that's your positive known. So then you can dig your hole and make you a mark, and then take that post out and lay it down on the sawhorse. That way you don't have to cut the top off while it's in place or raise or lower. You can do it right there on the sawhorse before you plant it in the ground. But I couldn't film that. No, these the tires on it's not any good. Somebody had took this bicycle and painted it white and put it uptown here and put some petunias in the front and the back baskets, you know. And they had to buy it for her. Oh, I've used it for everything, Grizz. See, this way, uh, you can do it by yourself. Now, you can just take a piece of vinyl hose and hold it at both ends if you got help and make a mark, you know, because as long as the water, it don't matter if the hose is up or down, that water will stay level. If you, as long as you don't lose any water. But if you set that bucket down and put it up high enough so you don't have to get down on your knees to make a mark and make all your marks, you got a positive known, you can take that post out, lay it down, and measure up or down, whichever way you need to do. And it's kind of like setting up a scope, you know. You can get on paper. So you get it close within an inch, I'd say. Then once you start using it, well, you have to kind of fine tune it. Hello, Big Steve. Glad to see you here. Haven't seen you on my channel, I don't think. I've seen you on Iron Dog and Grizz's for sure. But yeah, you can just take that bucket. That way you can I pretty well have to work by myself. Set and spin. Uh-oh. Okay, Food Force. Okay. Thank you, Food Force. Okay. Well, I know I've seen you. I know, but see, I'm on Grizzlies and Iron Dog and Bobby Sprinkles, and I know that you've been in different channels. So I forget where I see people, but when I see the name, I remember. But I still appreciate you coming in. Been having trouble with my webcam. I did an update and it turned my mic off. Oh, he picks on you. Well, we can't put him in timeout. He's got a wrench. Oh, he's harmless. Grizz is harmless. It's all in good, clean fun. Yeah, when I was putting up the fence using that level, I thought, man, I would like to show this. I thought that Grizz would like to see it using that water level. You better watch it, Steve. He gonna whack you with the wrench. But yeah, I've used it in the kitchen to put up my chair rail. Uh, I've got quite a few pieces of fence in here, and that's how I set the height so that I can cut it off the top. When I set some of my fence, a guy came and a buddy he told me, he said, just leave it up there. He said, I'll cut it off for you. Okay. Yeah, that's not easy to do. He won't bother you, Big Steve. He just wants you to think he's going to bother you. Uh-oh. I think you're in timeout. Well, he only deleted one. Okay, Grizz. I know it's fun. Yeah, I see that. Well, if you need to. Well, that's good, Big Steve. Um, Grizz, I haven't had a chance to talk to you. I do like your haircut. It'll be fine for the summer, but you got to get that grow back for the winter, though. Okay. Um, let's see. We did it by email. Is that the way you want it? Yeah, let's see. Okay, Grizz. I sent it to your email. So anyhow, check your email, Grizz. Hope it works. There he is. All right.
All rise. Yeah, just a second here. I gotta shut down that other window so I don't use too much data on here. Okay, now I gotta find the oh, there's the pop up. Now I gotta find this.
Yeah, you look like a young man now.
Oh man, I tell you what, it feels so much better. I don't like, I never have like, well, I used to as a young man I liked long hair, but man, my last 20, 30 years I prefer the short hair like this here. But I hate going to the barber though.
Well, you need a pair of them clippers like I do with my dog.
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to go on. Somebody was telling me about sheep shears or something like that, or horse shears. I think I'm going to go on in and to like Coastal Farm Supply and get some.
Well, it would work.
I just want something that will last. I just want something that will last. I mean, do 2 or 3 haircuts and then it's no good.
Well, I wished I knew the brand that I bought. I had bought them cheap ones at Walmart, and like you said, they won't last.
Yeah.
I went out here to the vet. There's a girl out there that does does the grooming, and I look back there and I said, what brand do you use? I said, I'm gonna buy a pair of clippers. And I'll they're downstairs in the basement. I'll find the name of that brand. Now they're expensive.
Is it a wall?
No, no, it's a different name than that.
Hey, on using that bucket, I was going to ask you, do you like bring out a garden hose out of the bottom of the bucket? And then,
No, no. You just buy a piece of vinyl hose, say maybe 3/8 of an inch around. You got me?
yeah,
Vinyl tubing.
yeah, I got ya.
So then you drill a hole in the top on the side of the bucket, just a little smaller so that it'll stay in there. And of course, you got to push it in there and make a coil where it'll stay down under the water. Because if that end floats up, then you lose your prime. Then you fill the bucket full and you put your food coloring in there, push it around. And then you make it siphon so that it sucks that food coloring up through that hose, and then you're set. Then you get you a stool. There just happened to be a table right there close where I was working today, and I just set it on that. But once you set it down, you make all your measurements at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Because if you lose any water, or you have to put it up and start over tomorrow, well, you got to start completely new again.
Yeah.
But that just gives you a positive known, just like you were shooting it with a transit.
And you leave the top of the bucket open. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not open, but an air vent in there or something.
Yeah, don't have no lid on. It's just a bucket. You wouldn't have to actually use a ice cream bucket, but they're pretty nice and small, and they got a bail where you can pick them up.
Uh-huh.
And then I just leave the hose in it and coil it up and put it in the bucket and put my food coloring in there with it.
See, I'm liking this whole idea. The only thing that I've done was take like the clear rubber hose that you're talking about. I've done it two different ways. They make one where it's a kind of a kit. It has a 1 foot piece of hose that you screw out on the end of a garden hose, and the 1 foot piece is clear at both ends. And then you fill the garden hose up, and you get the water level. It's the same basic principle, but you're not using a bucket. And then I've used just a regular piece of big long hose, a vinyl hose or whatever, like you're saying. I've never done it with a bucket, but I'm really liking that idea with a bucket because that way there, you're not really, you can leave the bucket standing like you're saying, and if you put your thumb on that end there, you don't have to have somebody watch that end if you go up too high or too low. Even if you hold it up high and you don't get the thumb in there, the water's just going to run back on in.
Yeah, you don't have to hold your thumb over it.
Well, if you want, like if you're going too low and you don't want the water to run out, if you're going below the level line,
that you don't want to do it at all because it changes your level. If you lose,
I'm talking about when you're moving from post to post.
Well, you just hold it in your hand. Just make sure you're above that bucket.
Well, if you put your thumb over the end of it where the water can't go in or out,
you can, but I just hold the hose. As long as I get it above that bucket, it won't run out.
Right. I understand that, but I mean, I just like the idea that I like to bring my arms down from time to time.
Well, what I'm saying is, you get everything set. And then you go and do all your markings at the same time. Then you can just go do whatever.
Uh-huh.
Now today it was right there by the swing, so I could drape the hose, you know, it was above the bucket, and I could drape the hose, and I wasn't losing any water. So when I wanted to use it again, I just took it over there and made some more marks.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
The only thing that you have to watch when you're doing this with this tubing. Now, see if you can follow me, because if you don't understand it, don't make sense. But where the liquid is not, it's dry. You follow me? So when you go over there to make a mark, it's dry above that liquid, so it resists, and it won't set. So what you have to do is put the hose down to where that water comes up in that dry hose, and then pick it back up, and then it'll level out. Does that make any sense?
yeah, it does.
Because if you just walk over there and put it up against there, it won't give you the correct reading.
So basically, the hose has got to be lubed up first, so the water can flow back and forth.
Right. And it'll always be dry, even though it had just. So you've got to take it over there and hold it up to where it'll run back to where it's still wet.
Uh-huh.
Wait till it quits moving and make your mark.
Okay. Yeah. Gene and John just showed on up. So Gene, have you caught the guy yet? Do you know who it is?
Gene Chambers. What?
He got ripped off while he was down in Florida.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, they took his chainsaw, a bunch of boards, and I don't know if they got other stuff. I mean, like some hardwoods and stuff. I mean,
oh wow.
Have you been back to the garage to be able to inspect it yet, Gene, or are you still down in Florida?
Oh, they did it at his house up there while he's on vacation.
Yeah, while he was on vacation.
Oh man.
So you know who did it, Gene? Or do they know who did it or anything? Or I'd put a fish hook in each testicle and hang them up. Take a dildo, Kim, and you hook a bunch of fish hooks where they go in just one way, and you shove it up their backside, and then it can't come on out, and then you force feed them a bunch of X-Lax.
That sounds like a bull scent. Have you ever heard of that? Heard of that?
No.
I can't show you the picture of it, but it's like a rod. It's got an arrow on it, and it's got a round at the other end. You stick that in the bull in his backside and hook it over a fence post, and it's a cinch that he'll be there when you get back.
Yep. Oldest grandson has no idea. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, like a harpoon, John.
Yeah. He said his grandson fixed the lock where they broke on into it. They don't have no idea who did it.
Oh, wow.
What brand of table saw was it, Gene? Yeah, that type of stuff just pisses me off. A Ryobi table saw, and
That's a pretty good brand, isn't it?
yeah, Ryobi makes pretty good tools. I don't have no experience with the Ryobi table saw, but I mean, yeah, I've been really happy with my Ryobi tools that I've had. You reel the turd in and cook them for dinner. Well, I got the garden pretty much tilled up today. Tomorrow I got to start planting some of the seeds.
So you're not going to use the cardboard like Cheap is?
Like who has?
Doing it cheap. He's been using cardboard for his garden.
Yeah, I've seen that done. No, I'm not doing that. That's a good worm food. And it helps hold the moisture on into the ground and stuff. But I mean, water is not an issue here.
Well, he's doing it because of weeds.
Yeah, I use sawdust because of weeds. You know, if I had access to a whole bunch of cardboard, yeah, I would put the cardboard down and then I'd put the sawdust on top of it. Big sheets of it. I don't want to mess with little tiny pieces. You can get all you want down there. I'd tell you what, the guy I used to build for lives down at the other end of River Road from me. Um, he he has a garden about the same size as mine. What he does is he puts black plastic over his whole garden, and he doesn't ever till it. But he put the black plastic and he weighted it down with rocks, and he's got his hills all mounded on up. Then he cut slits. You know, and so each spring when he goes ready to go plant, he just opens up the slit, puts the plant on in there. The ground stays nice and soft on his hills. Where his potatoes are at, he has the plastic just layered over the top. So when it's time to harvest the potatoes, he just pulls the plastic and takes the potatoes right off the ground. He doesn't have to dig them or nothing.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Grammy, how you doing?
Yeah, I have used black plastic. Uh, of course, that's some high dollar stuff if you get a big roll of it.
Yeah, yeah, and it lasts for 2 or 3, 4 years out there. But I mean, it's a great idea for potatoes. You don't have to dig them.
Oh,
But
that's good.
for
I didn't
using
know it worked
construction,
like that.
pardon?
I didn't know it worked like that.
Yeah, you just put your potatoes right on top of the hill. You don't bury them in the hill at all. You just put it right on top of the hill. Then you layer the plastic over it each way, and you cut a little hole for the plant to grow through. But then you just roll the plastic back off the hill, and you just put the potatoes right off the top of the ground.
I'll be darned.
And it really does work. I seen it. I seen them do it. Yeah, I'm styling, aren't I, Grammy? I'm.
Yeah, he looks good.
uh, Gene says makes me mad because I saved 3 months to buy it. Oh man.
There's Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Oh, by the way, I seen you guys' fire pit.
You like that?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, just a wash tubs.
Well, you was on his live stream. He was on your live stream. That's what I was talking about mainly.
Oh, I did he get on my live stream? I didn't. I don't think he got on my live stream. We were both on his, but I'd opened up mine. But I was getting too much echo through it. If I could separate things further apart, it might work.
Well, I watched your live stream, and then I turned around and watched his live stream, which you was on his live stream.
Yeah, and you could hear him on mine because of the
That's how it was working. Yeah.
yeah, but we was getting a lot of feedback going through it that way.
Well, I didn't hear any feedback. Of course, I wasn't live.
Yeah, we was getting feedback. I don't know, what was, if it was because we had the third party, because Rick was on there too for a spell. And it might have been coming through his setup, the feedback. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it was because it was playing a mic into both rooms. He should have muted my room, my channel, not heard anything on there. And then that would have, I think that would have prevented the feedback. I didn't have no problem jumping on here at all, Grammy. He sent me an invite and it came right on through. What kind of problems are you having with it, Grammy?
Now I had trouble with my webcam when the update come through. It turned my mic off, and that tech found it and turned it back on. It's been working.
Unfortunately, Gene, I think you're SOL on it. Yep. Grammy, it might be your internet service. Do you do a lot? Do you do your hangouts? Do you do your live streams from your cell phone, or do you do it from the computer?
That's a good deal, Bobby. Keep it up.
Yeah, keep on going on it, Bobby.
The other day, Bobby had called me and he said, well, it was last weekend. And that's when I started having trouble with my webcam. He invited me up, and I went through the thing, and I didn't have no mic and I didn't have no picture. And it was after that update, boy, it was terrible.
Mm.
Good old Windows 10. Yes, sir. You better keep on going, Bobby.
Well, here, let me grab my, you can stay stir fry. You don't have to move. Let me grab my phone. You have this on your phone? I mean, you know, from this feature here on my phone, I can't do invites, but I can do live stream. Let me bring oh, I don't think you're going to be. Oh, maybe you can. Let's see here if I get this close enough. Oops, I touched the wrong thing. Okay, let me see if I get this close enough where you can see here. See this little camera icon, right? That little black spot right there in the middle. Oops, I just touched it. Wants to take me live now. Okay, there we go. Okay. See that little black right in the middle of it. That's a little black camera. And when I use that setup, I just go right into YouTube on my cell phone. And instead of going through the live stream and all the other stuff or go opening up Hangouts, if I hit that, my stream seems to come the camera, everything about the streaming that way with that setup is a lot better. But I haven't figured out how to do invites with that.
Did you see the comment that Bobby? He said Tammy said you looked handsome.
Well, thank you, Tammy. I think you look beautiful.
Um, John said he hates Windows 10, and I know that Bobby does too. I've never had trouble until just now.
I haven't had problems with Windows 10 per se. I liked Windows. I really liked XP the best,
I
and
did too. I
and
did.
I didn't mind Windows 7, but XP was my favorite. But I
But
don't.
once you learn the neighborhood in Windows 10, it's not hard to navigate.
Now I don't use the Edge. I think it's called. You know,
No, I
they're
don't like it.
no, I don't like it. I turn all that stuff off.
I use Chrome
Yep.
because Yahoo won't work on Internet Explorer for me.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me either.
And that might be the Windows 10 deal. Hi, Carrie.
Oh, there's Tammy. Hi, beautiful Tammy.
Good night, John. It's 10:30 for John.
It's like for a while there on my other computer, I wasn't able to watch YouTube on Chrome, and I didn't get that. I could watch YouTube on what was it? On Internet Explorer, I could watch it, but my sound wasn't working. when I go over to Chrome. And I don't think it was the computer deal. I think it was a Chrome deal. I'm not sure. But then what sucked about that is when I try to edit videos using the Internet Explorer, you try to use TubeBuddy to do the stuff that I was doing with it. It won't operate in Internet Explorer. It has to be on Chrome. So
Yeah.
it was fun there for a little while.
Okay, Carrie, send me your email address. I didn't store it, and I'll do it through Google Hangouts for you. I think that's how we did it. This little girl, she wants to come up. She wants to talk to Grizz.
No problem.
She's 16.
Pick a permanent spot for it. I set it right on the ground too. I don't lift it up with bricks. His burn pit. He did a burn pit like what we got it.
Oh, but he put it on brick.
Well, it was out in the driveway, so he did things differently.
That's clever.
But he's going to move it into a better spot.
Okay.
Do you have a black ring there now, Bobby, from having the fire out in the gravel? By the way, Bobby, I don't know if this is a problem with down in the south where you're at. I would imagine that you could easily have these same type of problems. Pick your spot wisely where you put the fire. What happens here is if there's roots underneath and you have a long-term fire going, you can catch the roots underground, and they can actually smolder underground for like a half a mile or a mile and then erupt to start a forest fire somewhere.
Oh man, I never knew that.
Yeah. The person has to be around here. We have to be very careful where we do our fire because any tree roots or anything underneath the ground, you can get the roots burning underneath the ground, and it can travel for a long ways before it surfaces underground.
I'll be darned.
That's why around here anyway, no fires are ever allowed outside of a fire pit.
I sent it, Carrie, through Google's Hangout. And your name come up, so wasn't no problem.
Did we remove her email address, or does she care if other people get it?
Well, maybe we should. I just removed that so nobody else could see it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I wanted to do it too, but you beat me to it.
Oh.
Where's Steve? I was looking to removing all of his text.
No.
Well, where you're burning now, you shouldn't have any roots there at all.
No, yeah, I don't have any roots there at all. That's all on Phil.
But I didn't know they traveled underground like that.
Oh yeah, it will go a long ways underground.
Well, she should have got that invite.
Oh man, Tammy says she baked chocolate chip cookies.
I need to do that.
Yum.
I need to do that. I have lots of chocolate.
Soft. Yes, you do. Soft and chewy. I've been wanting some. I be the cookie monster.
I tried to put a burner on the other stove, took it out,
Yeah.
and I put it in there. It won't work.
It doesn't work.
No, it's like this thing shot the plug.
Might be.
It's an old stove.
We might have to get a new stove.
Oh well.
Yeah. Well, he'll pretty quick. I'm going to get the gas burners going. We'll start doing more of the cooking outside, so we don't overheat the house anyway.
Yeah, I sent it through Google Hangout.
The oven works. That one room.
Do you know how to do that, Carrie? Google Hangouts?
I'm slowly getting there. I need some help to get all those lids off and check to make sure they're safe.
If I posted it in our about page, the one that you gave me, I wonder if I could send it to her through the about page. Is she on a cell phone or what is she on?
I don't know.
Because I mean, I know that cell phones act a little differently on invites. And if she's on a cell phone, I can't get an about page of mine. It has to either go through an email or Hangout.
Now, when you go to Google Hangouts, save it. Oh, she's on her cell phone. Okay, so how do I need to send it?
I would send it to her on Google Hangouts. She can open up her Google Hangouts and she'll see the invite in there.
Send it to her twice. I sent her email through Google Hangouts twice.
Through Google Hangouts.
Huh?
You sent it through Google Hangouts or you sent it to email?
Google Hangouts. Right here where you click and it says invite. That's how I sent it.
Okay.
We did it the other night and she got on.
It might take a little bit for it to show up on her end.
Send it to your email. Okay. Yeah, that copy and paste two things there. Let me try something here.
You may know. Did you want one?
Yeah, I'll have one. And Tammy made me hungry. Now I'm going to eat these cheap, yucky
I don't like them.
Hostess rolls or something like that.
I don't really like them. Bimbo. They're called Bimbo.
I can get them down, but they ain't that good.
They aren't that good. I should make.
Yes, you should.
I haven't made them for a long time.
Okay. Now there's your email.
You don't like raisins. You have to have dates. You want to have a date.
No, I don't want dates on mine either.
Why? They're good.
Mm-mm.
Have a chopped up one. There's one you wanna...
I don't like them.
I like raisins in them, and you don't.
Make some with raisins or dates in it, but make some without too.
Because I put a whole bunch of different stuff in them. It needs to have nuts in it. You can't have nuts in it.
Okay. I sent it to your email.
I'm out in the West Coast in Oregon. Grandma's going to get mad at me if I do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. You can have a bite.
What's it? She can't have wheat. Makes her itch.
You can have one bite.
Makes her itch so bad.
You got one bite.
What's this? What's this flavor here?
I don't know.
I don't like flavor.
What was it? Cheese?
No, I gave her a bite of the roll.
That makes an itch. She's not supposed to have any wheat.
Check your email.
No.
Kara?
Yeah.
Carrie.
Never had it taste like that flavor.
Okay.
You want it?
Mm-mm. No, that's all I wanted.
It's just that part of it. I want to buy these at the store.
Take care, Grammy.
Yeah, good night, Maniac.
Oh, it has raisins in it, but it didn't taste right.
Oh. So is the salad all made?
Mm-hmm. Did you want any of the what was it, chili something tomato in it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right back, Kim. I'm going to go dish myself up some food.
Okay. I'm not going to be on much longer, though.
Okay, well, I'll just be a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead then.
Yeah, I'm just dishing up.
Oh, I thought you were going to go cook. Okay. Yeah, I'd say that fire pit, Bobby, would be hard on that concrete. Make you a pretty bad stain. I wish I had a place that I could have a little fire pit just to get rid of my sticks and stuff, twigs and was you burning in a plastic barrel or was it a wash machine tub? I couldn't really tell what it was on the picture, you know. Okay. Well, I think that's what Grizz uses. that that worked pretty good. It's already got the holes in it, so it can breathe. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I got up early this morning. I think it was like 3 or 4 o'clock. And then we got in a hot tub, and that guy was to call me back at 8 o'clock this morning. And by golly, at 8 o'clock, he called and he got my webcam working. She's doing fine. She's in the bed. She watches TV in there a lot, though, too, Bobby. I'm sure she's asleep. Well, I sure didn't know that the roots would burn like that. Oh man, what do you do when you don't have Wi-Fi? Talk to each other. I've been watching Netflix ever so often. I figure if I'm paying for it monthly, I should use it. I'm on cable, Bobby.
Okay, I'm back here. I ain't going to eat on my camera. I don't want to you guys see all the food get in my beard.
That's okay. Turn it on.
Y'all need a good laugh, huh?
No. Yeah, that's what I pay. It's around $8. 7 something. If I can watch a couple of good movies a month, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. Every once in a while, Pam will watch one, or we can watch a movie together and in the bedroom, you know. Hello, Kelly. Good afternoon or good evening.
I'm not seeing Kelly on here.
Purdy and Blue. Her name's Purdy and Blue 19.
Oh, I thought you said Kelly.
Kelly, yeah, that's her.
Oh, okay. What happened to Carrie?
I don't know. I sent it on Hangouts twice and I sent it through her email. Yeah, as long as we know who she is. Well, she was on here and she asked for an invite, and I sent it to her, Kelly, but she never has come up. So what are you eating, Grizz?
I got a tossed salad and a tuna sandwich.
Sounds good to me. Mother's Day, we went and bought some rotisserie chicken, and Pam cut them up, or tore it apart and put it in the slow cooker. And then we had some left over, so she made chicken and noodles with the chicken. It was pretty good. Homemade noodles. She made the noodles.
Oh, wow. We've done a lot of work.
You still got your email if you want to come on. Or Carrie, not Kelly. Carrie.
So is it a lot of work to make noodles?
I don't know. Eggs, flour, milk. She's got a recipe that she used. And she didn't make them real skinny. She made them pretty good size. So when you get a bite, you're actually eating something.
Makes them good and thick too.
Do what?
Makes them thick too.
Yeah. Not the broth, but the noodles. I would have liked the broth to be thick, but you take what you get.
Yeah.
That broth was so good. Of course, I didn't want all that liquid on my plate. Uh-oh.
I lost the thread there.
What
Can
happened?
you phrase it another way?
I don't know, what was that?
Oh, it was that it was that listening device, Carmen or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But anyhow, I just clicked off of it. But anyhow, that broth was so good, and I didn't want it on my plate, all that liquid. So I had some noodles, chicken, and mashed potatoes. Then I took my coffee cup over there, got me a big cup of that broth. Boy, it was good.
The salad sure is hitting the spot.
Good deal. Well, John, I don't mind that she asked, but I'm not real good at inviting people. So, they've got to work with me and tell me what they need.
Well, we'll that down pretty quick.
I don't like to put the link in the chat because The people that's in the chat talking, they won't do it, but there's people that's not saying anything in the lurking, they can grab it, you know. I don't know what they can do with it, but
Oh, they can't do anything other than jump on your live stream and maybe play some music or something.
well, I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but Drunken One said that somebody got on his channel. I don't know if it's because he did it that way, but they messed up his real expensive program that he edits with.
Oh, wow.
So he said that that's how they got on there. So I don't know. If somebody wants to tear something up, they can do it.
Yeah. Well, some people do just for funsies.
Well, you know, you can have fun, but when you tear something up,
I know for a while there, I was having problems going over to Fat Boy's channel. As soon as I'd hop on his live stream, my computer would shut down. And I don't mean I wouldn't hop onto the Hangouts with him, you know, but just when I'd get on in there, as soon as I'd be in there, as soon as I'd post something in his live streams, boom, my computer would shut down. And it did for a couple of weeks, but I haven't been having that problem anymore. But I don't know what it might not have had anything to do with him at all. I don't know what it was.
I'll be darned. Yeah. So I think about it sometime tomorrow. I'll send you an email, the name of them clippers.
Okay.
Maybe I can look up the link. What'd you think of them gas cans? You gonna get you one?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one of these days here. As soon as I need some more, I could always use some more, but it's gonna be another month or two before I get desperate where I need more and I got the money.
Right. I understand the money. Well, I just I only use it for my lawnmower.
Uh-huh.
And then, well, that's a 2.5. And I've got one of these old metal gas cans like you used to go to the filling station because you
Right.
ran out of gas and you could buy a gallon of gas just to carry back to your car.
Uh-huh.
Well, I got one. That's where I mix my oil and gas.
I need, I like those old metal gas cans. I wish we could still get those.
I doubt if they sell them anymore. But
I haven't seen it.
I bought that. And this old man said, "Get you a plastic one. That'll rust out." I said, "Well, I'll use it until it does." And that's been years ago, back in the 80s when I bought it.
The plastic ones can condensate more water.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a light. I got something blocking. I can't see it. I got something on my screen that blocks that, but that's just my ceiling light in here giving a reflection there, David.
But the metal cans don't.
Well, I mean, they can't. I'm not going to say they don't. They just don't sweat as much.
Okay.
That's my take on it, though. I mean, I'm not a, don't quote me on it, but that's just my.
No, but I'm willing to learn.
They don't sweat as much, but they do get the rust on in there. But I don't remember having as much problem with water in my gas as I have since I've been using plastic ones.
Okay, so you're saying you want to use the plastic ones?
No, I say I don't want to use the plastic ones because I don't recall having as much water in my gas when I used the metal ones.
Oh, okay.
Now I get more water in there.
I don't store mine on the ground.
Well, that's smart.
I've got a wooden bench that I bought, and it's just right. Now I've got a bigger can that I've got number 2 diesel in, and I set it underneath.
Uh-huh.
But it's still on a board. It's not on the ground because my carport has a gravel or chat,
Mm-hmm.
So, and I keep my gas can just inside the door. In case something happened, you could run on there and get that on out of there,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my theory. I don't want to store it clear in the back. I want it to be right there where I can get it out of there if something's going on.
Yep. I think that's pretty good thinking. I know here with being that I had my contractor's license for several years, I had to report every year to the fire department where every bit of combustible, whether it was used on the job or not, even lawnmower gas for my own use, ammo, I had to report everything where everything was at, being that I was a business.
Huh.
And if I planned on moving it and storing it at a different location, I had to notify them, make another report for that too. Kind of seems kind of crazy, but the fire department, they want to know whatever chemicals you have. They want to know that if you're a business, they want to know where all that stuff's at. So if they have a fire out there, they know what they're contending with the business.
Yeah. It'd be a good idea, really.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I keep it right inside the door. And it's on, I got a piece of treated plywood, and then I took some old chalk, cut them up, put chalks under it, and screwed it down so it wouldn't move. And I put my diesel can on it, and this bench is just perfect, sets right over
So what do you use the diesel for?
my heater, but I don't use it much anymore. I just bought that burner because I was trying to build this garage in the wintertime, and it was cold.
Oh, so it's not an indoor heater. It's something for the shop or something?
Yeah. It's one of them turbo blowers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Use kerosene.
yeah, I was just going to say kerosene doesn't burn. It burns cleaner, so it doesn't fumigate you out of there as easy. I have 2 of those, and I want to get rid of them.
You're going to understand what I'm saying here. But diesel was a whole lot cheaper.
Right, and it's a lot more efficient too.
Huh?
It's more efficient too, even though it puts out more fumes. It's a lot more. It puts number 2 diesel puts out more heat than kerosene does.
Okay. Well, let me try this again. We burnt diesel at the yard. We didn't have kerosene.
Uh-huh.
So it was a lot cheaper that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's getting it from. Yeah, I got you.
If we had kerosene, I would have used that.
That's doing it. That's really doing it cheap.
But I didn't have that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what I paid for that heater. I've only used it a little bit. Pam said it stinks, but I don't think it's a problem. Just when you first light it, start it,
Yeah.
and then shut it off.
Now we had one of those up in Alaska. The barrel, the jet-like thing, the barrel on it was 4 foot in diameter.
Oh wow!
Oh, that I tell you what, and that sucker was loud, but man, it put out the BTU. If you do, Bobby, I might join your channel in the morning. Take care, Bobby. But yeah, we was running those up there, and during the winter time, we'd take that clear plastic, the construction plastic, but we'd use the clear just so it'd get a little bit of extra lighting in there. But we'd stitch all that plastic together and cover the whole job site with that plastic and stitch it together with nails, to make the plastic hold together. And then about every 40 feet all the way around the job site, we'd put one of those diesel heaters on in there, just underneath the plastic to blow heat on in there. And it would raise that plastic right up like a big bubble over our job site. Then we'd set up our foundations, pour the concrete, frame, put in the floor. We'd frame all the walls laying on down. And, all there nice and warm and heat. You'd have to go outside periodically because you'd get a headache from the fumes in there. But we get the whole thing built on up, the whole house framed up, ready to stand. Then we pull the plastic on back and bring the crane truck on out there and stand all the walls up and drop the roof on. We'd build the roof underneath there on the deck after we built all the walls. And then the crane would lift the roof off, set it off of the ground, then we'd stand on the walls, and he'd lift the roof and drop it back on top for us. 2 stories.
Kind of like prefab. But
very
you prefabbing it there.
Yeah, we did it there on the site. That we only did that when it was really extremely cold weather. If it was summertime, during the summertime, we just framed a regular style.
Right.
But it's too hard to work, running nail guns and hammers. I mean, when it's 40, 50 below zero on out, that metal breaks real easy.
Yeah. Well, see, it was real cold when I was working on this, and see, I was trying to get everything done that I could before I retired.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the wintertime. I wanted to get this done and get my roof replaced and all that. I wanted to go ahead.
Do you do any hobbies out there?
No, not really. But I got a vise, and a grinder. If I want to put something in the vise and work on it or sharpen my blade.
Yeah.
I don't burn it much anymore. I mean, if I got something going on, then I'll fire it up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got 2 of them. I want to get them out of my shop. They just take up space, and I like burning wood, and and the wood I don't have to pay for, so I'd rather save the diesel for my tractor.
Right. Well, see, I don't have a wood burner. I didn't want to put one in because I'm not going to spend that much time out there. I just bought this. I borrowed one from a guy, and man, it about killed me. So I used it one night, and I took it back and went to Real King and bought my own.
Oh, wow, cool.
And I told that guy, I said, man, I can't hardly handle this. He was putting up my garage doors. He said, well, if you want me to work on these garage doors, we're going to have to run it. I said, okay, if we can hang tonight, tomorrow I'm going to go buy my own. And it didn't smell much at all. The new one didn't.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those old ones, and after your sits for quite a while, they'll start. I don't know what it is. I don't know much about them. I know the sheet drywallers around here, they use them to dry their drywall out during wintertime with. And I know that if they sit a long time, there's a bunch of service work. Like if the fuel kind of gels up or something inside there, it plugs up the jets. You know, there's different stuff that happens, and there's a little relay board on in them. And so I don't. If I was you, what I'm getting at is, if I was you, I'd get on out there and I'd fire it up 2 or 3 times during the wintertime and let it run 5 or 10 minutes. Just, just 2 or 3 times, to.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's kind of like what they say with an air conditioner. If it sits too long, that ain't good for them. They say during the wintertime, a person should still run it for a few minutes.
Well, that's Lawrence County. You run the heater in the morning and the air conditioner in the evening.
all year round, though?
Almost. No, but almost.
Man, I don't think I'd like that type of a climate.
Well, I'm exaggerating, but there is some days, you'll have the heater on at night, and then by noon you turn the air on.
Man, my brother Eugene had a house up in Salem that had a full basement underneath it. And I've been wanting to do something like that here. I don't want to put a full basement underneath there, but anyway, his full basement, he had a hole cut out in the floor. It was a grate over it and had an electric fan inside of it. When he'd get home from work, when he'd get home from work, that house would be all closed up, and the upstairs would be it would be 110 degrees inside of his house. He'd get on home, he'd crack the window open as far into the house and turn that fan on from the basement and circulate that cold air from the basement on in. Within 15, 20 minutes, it would cool his house down to, like, I don't know, it dropped it down to 65, 70 degrees. It was as good as having air conditioning almost, and a lot cheaper.
Well, I've got a full basement, but it don't get that cool in it.
Yeah, well, this is Oregon. It's different. You probably got a lot warmer weather there. What's the temperature of your basement?
Well, it's probably 70 or so. It gets cool in the wintertime now.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't pay no attention to it, but the only thing that's in the basement is the cold air return.
Well, now, is your basement a full basement, or is it like a half basement where it's only down to the ground 4 foot and out 4 foot?
Okay, it's a full basement, but it's got a ledge all the way around it. So in other words, they built the house and then they come in there and dug the basement after the fact. I mean, you can tell by looking at it.
Well, put it this way: how far below the surface is the basement floor?
Probably 4 foot.
Okay, so it's only like half basement depth.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's a full basement, but it's only and his was all the way down in.
Well, you can walk under the floor joist, but you got to duck to get underneath the
beams and stuff.
Well, there's no beams, but there's heat run.
Oh, heat ducts?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Pam don't have a problem. She's short enough, she can walk on. But I have to tilt my head, or you
Yeah.
learn to do that after you drive your head through one of them beams, or heat runs.
Yeah. Well, Kim, I reckon I should get off here. I got a video I got to get edited so I can get it released in the morning.
All right.
It's sure fun with you.
You betcha. I'm tickled to death that I was able to get back on here.
Oh, I thought it was great. I seen you a little bit earlier, but I didn't have time to jump on here at that point. So I said, I got to hurry up with what I'm doing so I can get over here. So I'm glad I was able to make it, because half the time I get over here, you're just closing up when I get in here.
Right. Well, I went a little longer because I wanted to talk at you.
Yeah, I sure appreciated it.
Okay, I'll try to go get that name of them clippers. If I can look it up, because I know I bought it online, but I forget what the brand name is. But this thing here, the clippers, you turn it on and you just snap the head on. You don't have to take a screwdriver. I had one of them cheap ones at Walmart. I was constantly taking it apart and put it back together and tighten it down. I talked to my barber about it. He said, well, you got to tighten them down tight. This one here, you just push it down. I don't know how to explain it. It just pops in. And then you put your combs on it. But whenever I do my dog, his hair's so thick, I don't use the comb. I just take him right down to the skin.
Yeah, I'd like to know what it is, because I need to get one of them, because I'd like to keep my hair, butched down like this here year round is what I'd like to do, much rather do. And if I got clippers, and can keep on it, stuff, every 2 or 3 weeks, keep it short, then it's not so bad.
They're not cheap. The one I got, it's over $100 and some.
That's all right. If it's a lifetime, deal where I don't have to buy another one, I've got that much in the cheap ones.
I'll get the name and see if I can get you a link.
Okay, that would be awesome.
I don't know where I bought it. I'll just have to do some search. But these have been pretty good. And then I went ahead but you have to buy the combs separate. The attachment,
That's no problem. I don't mind buying that separate. Okay, well, I'm going to get out of here.
Okay, I'm going to close her down.
Okay, have a good one. Good night, everybody.
All right. May the peace and the power of the Lord be with you. Goodbye.